Mjolnir is the most powerful weapon in the MCU. It can summon lightning, fly through armies, and grants godlike power to whoever holds it, but only the worthy can lift it. Or can they? Because over the years, gods, heroes, villains, and even a child have wielded Thor's hammer. So here's every time someone lifted Mjolnir in the MCU. Before we dive into who lifted it, let's understand what Mjolnir actually is. Mjolnir is an enchanted hammer forged from Uru metal in the heart of a dying star by the dwarves of Nidavellir. It was originally created for the Asgardian royal family, not specifically for Thor. Odin was actually its first wielder after commissioning its creation, and he later passed it to his firstborn daughter Hela, who used it alongside her own weapons during their violent conquest of the Nine Realms, centuries before Thor was even born. After Odin's desires for conquest faded, he banished Hela to Hel, reclaimed Mjolnir, and eventually passed it down to Thor over 1,000 years later. But here's the twist. The famous worthiness enchantment wasn't part of the hammer's original design. Odin added this enchantment much later when he stripped Thor of his powers and exiled him to Earth for his arrogance, declaring, "Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor." This is why Hela was able to wield and even destroy Mjolnir in Thor Ragnarok. She used it before the enchantment existed. So what does worthy mean? It's not about strength or power, it's about character. You need to have the heart of a warrior, the courage to sacrifice yourself, and pure intentions. Now let's see who actually managed to lift it. The Allfather, Odin. Odin, the king of Asgard, is the one who commissioned Mjolnir and wielded it long before Thor. He used it in countless battles during Asgard's brutal conquest alongside Hela. After locking Hela away and ending the Age of Conquest, Odin kept Mjolnir safe in Asgard until Thor was worthy to claim it as his weapon. He is seen handling Mjolnir multiple times, including when he banishes Thor to Earth in the first Thor movie. Mjolnir was an incredibly powerful weapon in Odin's hands, but after realizing the destruction it brought, he chose a more peaceful path and let it rest until passing it on. He only gave it to Thor so he could learn to control his power, because the hammer did not create his power like the enchantment suggests. It mainly helped him focus and channel his thunder. Hela. Before the enchantment, before the worthiness rule even existed, there was Hela, Odin's firstborn and Thor's older sister. During Asgard's Age of Conquest, Hela served as Odin's executioner and wielded Mjolnir in battle as Asgard conquered realm after realm across the Nine Realms. Over time, Hela became too powerful and bloodthirsty, and Odin feared what she would do to his kingdom, so he banished her to Hel. Odin then bound Hela's imprisonment to his own life force, ensuring she could not escape as long as he lived. When Hela later tried to break free, Odin sent the Valkyries to stop her, but she slaughtered nearly all of them, leaving only Brunhild, before Odin intervened and sealed her away again. Hela remained trapped for thousands of years, waiting for Odin's death. Then in Thor Ragnarok, after Odin dies, Hela returns, and she doesn't just lift Mjolnir, she catches it mid-air and crushes it with her bare hand. So was she worthy? No, she could do it because she had wielded Mjolnir before the worthiness enchantment ever existed, and once Odin died, his magic no longer protected the hammer the same way, allowing Hela to destroy it. The god of thunder, Thor. Thor is the primary wielder of Mjolnir, using it for over 1,000 years in battle until it practically became an extension of himself. In Thor 2011 movie, Odin strips Thor of his powers and banishes him to Earth, rendering him unworthy, and only when Thor is willing to sacrifice his life to save others does Mjolnir return to him, proving that true worthiness is about selflessness rather than godhood. Thor continues to wield Mjolnir in the Avengers, Thor: The Dark World, and Avengers: Age of Ultron until Hela destroys it in Thor Ragnarok. In Avengers Endgame, Thor brings a past version of Mjolnir forward in time to fight Thanos. Then it is sent back to its original timeline with Captain America. Years later, the shattered Mjolnir in New Asgard responds specifically to Jane Foster because Thor had previously, out of love, asked the hammer to always protect her, and Mjolnir's magic interprets this as a command to guard her and empower her when she is dying of cancer. This hidden promise causes the fragments to reassemble and choose Jane as the Mighty Thor, granting her the power of Thor even as the hammer slowly worsens her illness by stopping her mortal body from healing. After Jane's death, Thor is once again shown reunited with and wielding Mjolnir. Vision. In Avengers Age of Ultron, the newly born Vision casually picks up Mjolnir and hands it to Thor, and everyone is shocked. So is Vision worthy? Not exactly. There are two theories. Theory 1 suggests Vision is worthy because he's pure. He's an artificial being with no selfish desires, only a mission to protect life. And theory suggests Vision is like an elevator. He's not alive in the traditional sense, so the enchantment doesn't apply to him. He's a machine carrying the hammer, not a person lifting it. Either way, Vision wielding Mjolnir proved to the Avengers that he could be trusted, and it's one of the coolest moments in the MCU. However, Vision doesn't gain Thor's powers from wielding the hammer. He already possesses his own abilities from the Mind Stone in his vibranium body, so Mjolnir doesn't transform or empower him the way it would for a mortal. Steve Rogers. In Age of Ultron, during the party scene, the Avengers take turns trying to lift Mjolnir. Tony, Rhodey, Bruce, and Clint all fail to even make it move. Then Steve Rogers gives it a try, and the hammer very slightly shifts, wiping the smile off Thor's face as he realizes something is different. Steve deliberately stops, likely sensing he could lift it but choosing not to, which serves as the first clear hint that he is genuinely worthy and quietly sets up a future payoff. That payoff arrives in Avengers Endgame, during the final battle when Thor is being overpowered and Thanos is about to kill him with Stormbreaker. Mjolnir suddenly flies across the battlefield, not back to Thor, but into Captain America's hand, prompting Thor's ecstatic, "I knew it," as Steve finally wields the hammer. Cap then channels lightning and uses Mjolnir in combat against Thanos, proving that worthiness is not about divinity or raw power, but about selflessness, courage, and a willingness to sacrifice everything. Steve had been worthy since Age of Ultron, but only in this moment does he fully accept and display it. Jane Foster. As mentioned earlier, Jane Foster lifted Mjolnir during the events of Thor, Love, and Thunder. It granted her all the power of Thor, but it also prevented her mortal body from healing, worsening her cancer with each transformation. Jane Foster is genuinely worthy. Thor's enchantment to always protect Jane called the broken pieces to her when she was dying, but the hammer still required her to be worthy to wield it and receive Thor's powers. The enchantment opened the door by bringing Mjolnir to Jane in her time of need, but her compassion, selflessness, and willingness to sacrifice herself, even knowing it was killing her, proved she met Odin's original worthiness requirement. Both factors worked together. Thor's love summoned the hammer, but Jane's character made her worthy to lift it. And finally, love. In Thor, Love, and Thunder, after Gorr the God Butcher is defeated at Eternity, Gorr uses his one wish not for revenge, but to bring his daughter, Love, back from the dead. With his dying breath, Gorr asks Thor to take care of her, and Thor adopts Love as his own daughter. By the end of the movie, young Love is shown wielding Mjolnir, not in serious battle, but playfully alongside Thor, proving she is worthy despite her age. What makes Love even more unique is that she possesses cosmic powers, including glowing laser eyes and enhanced abilities, which she gained from being resurrected by Eternity itself. Being brought back by a cosmic entity gave her powers beyond those of a normal Asgardian or human. Love is pure-hearted and innocent, embodying the selflessness that the worthiness enchantment requires, creating a powerful father-daughter duo that proves worthiness has no age limit, only the right heart. So there you have it, every time someone lifted Mjolnir in the MCU. From Hela's brutal conquest to Cap's legendary moment in Endgame, the hammer has seen many hands, but only the truly worthy can wield it. Who's your favorite Mjolnir wielder? Drop it in the comments, and if you want more MCU breakdowns like this, hit that subscribe button.